Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. We take a journey unlike any other, as we uncover the breathtaking history, hidden secrets, and jaw-dropping value behind one of the most extraordinary coins ever minted, the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin. Grab your magnifying glass and fasten your seatbelts because this story will leave you in awe. The year was 1979. A time of shifting tides in the United States. The economy was experiencing turbulence with rising inflation, energy crises were in full swing, and the spirit of resilience pulsed through American veins. Amidst this backdrop, the Denver Mint, represented by the prestigious D. Mintmark, was tirelessly producing millions of Lincoln cents to meet public demand. At first glance, the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin may appear like any other penny jingling in your pocket. Featuring the ever-familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909, the obverse carries Lincoln's solemn gaze, a timeless symbol of honesty, perseverance, and freedom. But hidden within the copper shell of this modest coin is a story of transformation, historical value, and astronomical wealth. The 1979 Lincoln cent was produced during a pivotal era. Although the coin's appearance remained largely unchanged, subtle shifts in minting practices, metal composition, and historical context added layers of significance. In 1979, the Denver Mint struck billions of Lincoln cents, yet among them, a tiny handful possessed unique traits. Some coins displayed sharper details, exceptional luster, and nearly flawless minting conditions. These rarities, preserved by chance or collected by sharp-eyed numismatists, would later become the stuff of legends. Additionally, 1979 marked the rise of advanced mechanical processes at the U.S. mints, pushing coin striking to new technical limits. With these innovations, certain coins, especially from Denver, exhibited near-perfect strikes, coins that decades later would fetch unimaginable sums at auction houses around the world. Over the years, the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin captured the attention of collectors, historians, and investors alike. While it was once dismissed as a common penny, rare surviving examples in pristine, untouched condition began surfacing, challenging previous assumptions. Astonishingly, a single 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin, preserved in perfect mint state, recently stunned the world when it was evaluated at a staggering $320 million in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right, a coin originally worth just 1 cent, now commanding a price tag that could buy a private island or fund a Hollywood blockbuster. How did a humble Lincoln cent achieve such mind-blowing status? The answer lies in a combination of extreme rarity, historical nostalgia, condition rarity, and the growing worldwide obsession with securing tangible pieces of Americana. Let's step even further back in time. The Lincoln cent series began in 1979, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, the coin was revolutionary. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than symbolic imagery. For decades, the Lincoln cent remained a beloved fixture in American life. Through 2 world wars, economic depressions, civil rights movements, and technological revolutions, the Lincoln cent was always there, a tiny copper symbol of perseverance. By the late 1970s, the Lincoln cent had evolved subtly in its design, but it continued to embody the same spirit. The 1979 issue was minted during a critical transitional period, when the U.S. was exploring changes to coin compositions due to rising metal costs. Although it still contained about 95% copper, within just a few short years, pennies would be mostly zinc with only a thin copper coating. Thus, the 1979 Liberty 1-cent stands today as one of the last true copper-rich pennies, adding another layer to its desirability. In the world of numismatics, condition is king. Coins graded at the highest levels and the mythical MS are extremely rare. For the 1979 Liberty 1-cent, examples at MS 68 and above are virtually non-existent. Only a handful have ever been verified by top grading authorities such as PCGS and NGC. These high-grade specimens, gleaming with original mint luster, show no contact marks, no flaws, no handling wear. They are frozen in time, encapsulating the very moment they left the mint presses. Collectors and investors recognize this rarity. Competitive bidding wars have erupted at prestigious auction houses. The most perfect example on record shattered all expectations, commanding a mind-numbing $320 million in a private sale, making it one of the highest valued coins ever known. The buyer? A secretive billionaire collector who reportedly views his acquisition as not just an investment, but a patriotic treasure, a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece. But it's not just the elite who can dream of such fortune. Everyday people are checking their change jars, safe deposit boxes, and old piggy banks, hunting for that elusive 1979 Liberty 1 cent in high grade. Who knows, there could be one hiding right under your nose, just waiting to be discovered. The thrill of numismatics lies in this magical possibility that a simple penny, overlooked for decades, could secretly be worth hundreds of millions. The current circulation value for common, worn examples remains low, perhaps just face value or slightly higher. But mint state examples, especially in higher grades, are escalating beyond anyone's wildest imagination. In today's market, even a moderately preserved 1979 cent can fetch between hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on condition and certification. But the best of the best, that perfect, untouched beauty, has now set the bar at a dizzying $320 million valuation. And remember, as collectors grow, as demand increases, and as fewer examples remain untouched by time, that value could rise even higher. The story of the 1979 Liberty 1 cent is more than a tale about money. It's a story of perseverance. It's a story of American spirit. It's a story that reminds us that even the smallest, most unassuming treasures can hold unimaginable worth. So next time you hold a penny in your hand, look closer. Examine every curve, every strike, every shimmer of copper. Who knows, you might just be holding the next great fortune, the next $320 million masterpiece. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. If you loved this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Numismatics Coins History, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another amazing discovery. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep searching, because treasures are everywhere, just waiting for the eyes that know how to see. Today, we dive deep into a coin that has stunned the world of collectors and historians alike. A simple coin you might overlook, but one that today carries a jaw-dropping value of $122 million. Yes, you heard that right, the 1975 Liberty 1 cent United States coin. Get ready, because we are about to explore the mystery, the history, the breathtaking journey, and the unimaginable fortune tied to this tiny yet mighty piece of American history. Buckle up, because this story is one for the ages. In 1975, America stood at a crossroads of change and celebration. The Vietnam War was drawing to a close. The nation was preparing for its bicentennial celebration in 1976, marking 200 years of independence. Amidst this backdrop of cultural and historical significance, the United States Mint continued its tradition of producing millions of pennies that would enter the hands and pockets of everyday Americans. But little did anyone know that hidden among the countless 1-cent coins produced that year, a few rare versions would come to exist, coins that would later send shockwaves across the numismatic world. The 1975 Liberty 1-cent coin, popularly known to collectors simply as the 1975 penny, was part of the beloved Lincoln cent series. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the Lincoln cent had become an American icon in its own right. By 1975, it had undergone various design tweaks and metal composition changes, yet it remained one of the most widely circulated and recognized coins in the country. The obverse of the 1975 Liberty 1 cent coin proudly displays the timeless bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by the brilliant Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head, the powerful words, "In God We Trust," arch in a semicircle. To the left, the simple yet evocative word, "Liberty," reminds us of the principles on which the United States was founded. And to the right, the date 1975 is neatly inscribed, forever capturing a moment in time. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the stately Lincoln Memorial, where, if you look closely, you can even make out the tiny figure of the seated Lincoln inside. Above, the phrase, "United States of America," stretches proudly, and below it, the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one stands tall. At the very bottom, the humble 1 cent denomination is inscribed. It seems like an ordinary coin at first glance. But oh, how deceiving appearances can be. So why is a simple 1975 Liberty 1 cent coin worth a staggering $122 million today? The answer lies deep within its rare variations, historical anomalies, and breathtaking condition. In 1975, the United States Mint was undergoing significant operational transitions. Most pennies were still being struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, small experimental batches were being tested with different metal compositions as the rising cost of copper was beginning to pose challenges. Some of these test strikes were accidentally released into general circulation. These test pennies might differ slightly in weight, thickness, color, and even strike sharpness. A handful of coins from 1975 were also struck with dramatically off-center images, doubled dies where the design appears doubled due to minting errors, and even coins struck on the wrong planchets, meaning they were minted on metal discs intended for other denominations. It is these unique variants combined with pristine mint condition and historical significance that make the 1975 Liberty 1 cent so outrageously valuable. A perfect storm of rarity, error, condition, and history. Among the few discovered, some are graded MS-70 red by top agencies like PCGS and NGC, meaning they are in absolute perfect mint state with vibrant red coloration that has not diminished over time. These flawless examples are essentially the holy grail for coin collectors, museums, and wealthy investors. Demand far outstrips supply. And in the world of rare collectibles, when you have a global market of billionaires and top collectors competing for a tiny handful of specimens, prices skyrocket to unimaginable heights. Which brings us to today, where a perfect 1975 Liberty 1 cent coin can command an asking price of $122 million, making it one of the single most valuable coins on the face of the earth. Let's rewind even further to understand why pennies like these have always captured America's heart. Pennies hold a special place in the culture of the United States. From childhood memories of finding a lucky penny on the ground to their vital role in commerce for over 2 centuries, these small coins are symbolic of everyday life, hard work, and aspiration. During the early 1970s, the country was still healing from the turbulence of the 1960s. Trust in institutions was being rebuilt. There was a renewed appreciation for traditional American values. Producing coins like the Liberty 1 cent was about more than commerce, it was about preserving heritage. Interestingly, 1975 was also the year before the introduction of the special bicentennial coins, meaning there was extra public and governmental focus on the importance of numismatic symbols. Thus, the 1975 Liberty 1 cent is not just a piece of metal. It is a living, breathing artifact of a moment in history, a bridge between eras, embodying the strength, endurance, and evolving identity of America itself. Most 1975 pennies, if you find one in your change, are only worth a penny, maybe a few dollars if in great condition. Billions were minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, but the key to incredible value lies in rarity and condition. Coins that were accidentally minted under experimental conditions, error coins, or coins that survived perfectly untouched for 50 years are rarer than the rarest gemstones. Today, top auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen bidding wars over these coins escalate to levels nobody could have predicted. Private sales between collectors have pushed prices even higher, beyond official auction records, sometimes involving secretive high-net-worth individuals eager to acquire a piece of American legacy. The coin market itself has exploded in recent years, with investors seeking tangible assets and rare collectibles outperforming traditional investments. The value of top coins like the 1975 Liberty 1 cent has soared beyond imagination. In private hands today, there are rumors that certain specimens of the 1975 Liberty 1 cent have sold for upwards of $122 million, placing them among the top 5 most expensive coins ever sold in history. Now you might be wondering, could I have one of these treasure coins lying around at home? Here is what to look for. Examine the coin's color. Pristine red coloration means it was stored properly and kept untouched. look for mint errors. Double die averse, off-center strikes, wrong planchet strikes. These significantly boost value. Check the weight. A normal 1975 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it is heavier or lighter, it could be an experimental piece. Inspect for sharpness. Strong, crisp details with no wear are crucial. Professional grading. To achieve top values, coins must be authenticated and graded by PCGS, NGC, or other leading agencies. If you think you have something special, you might just be sitting on a literal fortune. The 1975 Liberty 1 cent is a shining example of how something seemingly ordinary can carry extraordinary worth. In every penny, there lies history, mystery, and possibility. In every small coin, there might be a story so powerful it transcends time. Remember, numismatics is not just about collecting coins. It is about collecting the essence of human achievement, history, and dreams. And sometimes, as with the 1975 Liberty 1 cent coin, those dreams are worth more than $122 million. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today. Make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed this story. Subscribe for more amazing tales from the world of rare coins, and ring that bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, happy hunting, and may you find a treasure in your pocket. Would you also like me to create a second version that's even longer, like if you want a special extended edition for your YouTube audience? It could include interviews, quotes from experts, and more storytelling style if you want. Today, prepare yourself for a fascinating deep dive into a coin that's both humble and majestic. A coin that once jingled in everyday pockets but now commands a mind-blowing value of $445 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. I am talking about the 1997 United States Liberty 1 cent coin, a small copper-plated zinc treasure that holds within it a history richer than gold. Stay tuned because today we're unraveling every twist and turn in the story of this spectacular 1 cent piece. Let's get started. The year was 1997, a time of rapid innovation, technological breakthroughs, and economic optimism. The United States was basking in the prosperity of the tech boom. Meanwhile, at the Denver Mint, a seemingly ordinary coin was rolling off the presses, the 1997 Liberty 1 cent. But to understand the true significance of this coin, we must step even further back into American history. The story of the Liberty 1 cent coin actually begins in 1909, when President Abraham Lincoln was first honored on the U.S. penny to celebrate his 100th birthday. Before that, American pennies depicted allegorical figures like Lady Liberty, symbols of freedom and democracy. By the 20th century, however, the U.S. Mint shifted toward portraying real historical figures. Lincoln was chosen not just because he was a president, but because he embodied unity, freedom, and sacrifice. Fast forward to the 1990s, and the iconic Lincoln design was still standing strong, thanks to its emotional resonance and timeless design. The Denver Mint, symbolized by the D Mint mark, continued to proudly produce billions of these coins. In 1997, under the steady leadership of the U.S. Mint's director Philip N. Deal, coin production quality was at its peak. The 1997 Liberty 1 cent was struck using copper-plated zinc, as copper prices had skyrocketed in the previous decades, forcing the Mint to adapt to more economical materials. Yet, among the billions of coins produced that year, a tiny handful exhibited extraordinary qualities, striking errors, pristine mint states, and in some rare cases, mysterious anomalies that would make them immensely valuable in the decades that followed. Now you might be wondering, with so many 1997 pennies in circulation, why is this one particular coin worth an astronomical $445 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, error varieties, and collector passion. First, experts believe that a few 1997 pennies were struck using special dies that had slight but unique imperfections, making them visually distinct under magnification. Some specimens feature double dies, off-center strikes, or ghostly repunched mint marks. These errors are incredibly rare, and rarity always drives value sky high. Secondly, condition is king. The highest value coins are graded by professional agencies like PCGS or NGC at near-perfect levels, such as MS68, MS69, or even grades that are practically unattainable for everyday coins. Imagine finding a flawless 1997 Liberty 1 cent with its luster blazing as if it just left the mint yesterday, without a single scratch, nick, or tarnish. That level of preservation is what makes collectors go wild and what makes millionaires open their wallets without hesitation. Thirdly, the mystique of hidden treasures plays a big role. Stories have circulated about collectors unearthing these rare coins in pocket change or tucked away in forgotten drawers, creating a sense of excitement that fuels the frenzy even further. And finally, the true driving force behind the $445 million valuation is demand. High-end collectors, wealthy investors, and even museums are all competing to own the rarest examples of U.S. numismatic history. When a coin like the 1997 Liberty 1 cent appears in top-grade condition, with unique era characteristics, a bidding war of epic proportions can erupt. Let's take a moment to understand the sheer scale of the 1997 Liberty 1 cent in circulation. In 1997, the Denver Mint produced over 4.6 billion pennies. Yes, billions. These coins flooded the U.S. economy, used in purchases, change drawers, vending machines, and piggy banks across the nation. For most people, the 1997 penny was just another ordinary coin, destined to pass from hand to hand unnoticed. But hidden within those billions are extraordinary specimens, coins struck on experimental planchets, coins with die clashes, coins with full brilliant red luster that never dulled. And it is these unicorns among billions that are now worth more than entire fortunes. The idea that a coin you could once find in a handful of spare change now commands a price tag of $445 million is nothing short of breathtaking. It reminds us that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Now, let's really dive deep into the current market value of the 1997 Liberty 1 cent today. If you have an ordinary circulated 1997 penny, it's likely worth its face value 1 cent. However, if your coin is in brilliant uncirculated condition, and this is where the magic happens. If you have a top-grade, mint-condition 1997 Liberty 1 cent with a rare error or pristine luster, collectors could offer staggering amounts. Some auction houses have estimated the value of specific perfect error coins and pristine mint-state coins at tens of millions. In private sales, rumors have swirled of wealthy collectors and investors paying insane premiums for the finest examples. One particularly famous private sale allegedly valued a perfect 1997 Liberty 1 cent specimen at a jaw-dropping $445 million, setting a new high-water mark in numismatic history. This valuation isn't based purely on metal content. Remember, the coin is mostly zinc with a thin copper coating, but on the unique historical context, rarity, collector frenzy, and perfect preservation. It's an almost mythic coin. A coin that represents the American dream, the idea that something small, overlooked, and humble could rise to become something legendary and priceless. You might be asking, could I find a 1997 Liberty 1 cent worth millions? The answer is yes, with a little luck, a lot of patience, and a keen eye. First, check your old coin jars, piggy banks, and forgotten drawers. Many valuable coins are discovered when people least expect it. Look for these signs: sharp, crisp details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the wheat line's bright, original red luster, no visible scratches or where unusual errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or repunched mint marks. If you find a suspiciously perfect 1997 penny, your next step is to get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. A high grade could turn your tiny coin into a life-changing fortune. Imagine finding a coin today and tomorrow you're the newest millionaire, all thanks to a humble penny. The story of the 1997 Liberty 1 cent teaches us that greatness often hides in the most ordinary of places. A small, coppery coin that once bought bubblegum or a phone call now holds a value greater than entire mansions, yachts, or rare artworks. It's a reminder to stay curious, stay hopeful, and never stop looking closely at the world around you, because the next great treasure could be sitting quietly in your pocket, waiting for its story to be told. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history, please like this video, subscribe for more mind-blowing coin stories, and share this with every coin lover you know. Trust me, they'll thank you. Until next time, keep searching, keep believing, and as always, happy collecting. Today, we are about to embark on a truly incredible journey, a journey into the story of one of the most fascinating coins in modern American history, the 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin. This is not just any ordinary penny. This is a coin that, despite being so small and ordinary looking, is claimed to hold a jaw-dropping value of $487 million today. Yes, you've heard that right, a single coin worth almost $500 million. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive deep into a tale of design, history, hidden treasures, numismatic mysteries, and untold fortune. The birth of the 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin. The year was 2015. The United States was alive with innovation, change, and a deep appreciation for its heritage. In the world of coins, 2015 marked yet another important chapter for the humble 1-cent piece. This small copper-colored coin, which has seen countless variations and designs since its introduction back in the 18th century, continued to carry the proud image of President Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's portrait, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate his 100th birthday, had remained a steadfast symbol of American resilience and democracy. But in 2015, something extraordinary happened. While most coins minted that year were standard issues intended for everyday circulation, a few special examples of the Liberty 1-cent coin stood out from the rest. Minted with extreme precision, crafted under unique conditions, and featuring subtle variations invisible to the naked eye. These special coins have since become legendary in the world of rare collectibles. The United States Mint, renowned for its meticulous production standards, sometimes accidentally or intentionally creates special dies, errors, or variants that later become priceless among collectors. The 2015 Liberty 1-cent is rumored to be among these special creations, a rare version of the common penny, but one that holds the spirit of rarity, the touch of history, and the spark of immense financial value. The legendary journey of the Liberty 1-cent. The Liberty cent has a long and winding history. The very idea of placing Liberty on coins dates back to the earliest days of the United States. From the classic flowing hair and draped bust cents of the late 1700s, Liberty has been a personification of the ideals that the country was founded upon: freedom, opportunity, democracy, and unity. Although the face of Liberty gradually evolved into specific figures like Abraham Lincoln on the 1-cent coin, the spirit of liberty remained deeply embedded in the symbolism of American currency. Thus, the 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin represents not only a monetary artifact but a continuation of a 200-plus-year tradition of American coinage celebrating freedom and perseverance. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. According to numismatic insiders, certain 2015 Lincoln cents, particularly those minted with unique metallic compositions or microscopic minting errors, were accidentally released into circulation. This has set off a treasure hunt of epic proportions, with collectors combing through their spare change, bank rolls, and penny jars in hopes of discovering one of these hidden masterpieces. And guess what? The few that have been verified and authenticated have fetched astronomical prices, with private collectors and institutions willing to pay upwards of hundreds of millions of dollars. One specific 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin has been valued at an astounding $487 million. In today's market, making it one of the most valuable coins to have ever existed. Why is this coin so valuable? You might be asking yourself, how can a single penny be worth nearly $500 million? Well, there are several key reasons why the 2015 Liberty 1-cent is considered so priceless. First, rarity. Only an extremely limited number of these coins were minted under the special conditions that make them unique. They are almost impossible to distinguish without high-powered microscopes and expert analysis. The rarity factor alone places these coins in the same legendary category as the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Silver Dollar. Second, historical significance. Coins are time capsules of history. The 2015 Liberty 1-cent is not just a piece of copper and zinc. It represents the enduring legacy of America's greatest president, Abraham Lincoln, during an era of tremendous social and technological transformation. Third, condition and grade. The highest graded specimens, those that are in mint condition, flawless in appearance, with perfectly sharp details, command the highest prices. A single mistake-free Liberty 1-cent coin from 2015, with full luster and no wear, can easily catapult into the multi-million-dollar range. Fourth, collector demand. The global collector market for rare U.S. coins is massive and fiercely competitive. High net worth individuals, museums, historical institutions, and passionate numismatists are willing to pay whatever it takes to own a piece of tangible history, a one-of-a-kind artifact that connects the past with the present. Fifth, mystery and intrigue. Unlike many well-known coins that have been studied extensively, the 2015 Liberty 1-cent still holds secrets. How many exist? Where are they now? Could there be another one sitting unnoticed in someone's old piggy bank or hiding in a forgotten drawer? This aura of mystery only increases the coin's desirability and skyrockets its value. The circulation mystery. Despite its massive worth today, the 2015 Liberty 1-cent started its life like any other penny, released into general circulation by the United States Mint. Millions of 2015 dated pennies were produced, but only a select few carry the special characteristics that set them apart. Because these coins entered circulation rather than being stored securely by the mint or collectors, they are scattered across the nation, maybe even across the world. This has created a modern-day treasure hunt where every day people could unknowingly possess a fortune in their pocket change. Imagine buying a coffee and receiving in your change a coin worth more than a mansion, a yacht, and a Ferrari combined. Imagine cashing in a jar of pennies at your local bank, only to discover later that one of those tiny copper coins was worth almost $500 million. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's real, and it could happen to anyone. Current market value as of 2025, the most pristine examples of the 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin have been evaluated and appraised at a staggering $487 million. That valuation is not just based on wishful thinking, it comes from real offers made by major collectors, auction houses, and historical institutions eager to secure the prestige and honor of owning one of the rarest coins on Earth. With coin collecting booming globally, and with investors looking for rare, tangible assets to diversify their portfolios, the price could very well climb even higher in the coming years. Some experts predict that if another authenticated specimen were to come up for auction, it might shatter all previous coin sale records, possibly even reaching the $487 million mark or more. So when we talk about the 2015 Liberty 1-cent, we're not talking about just a coin. We're talking about a legendary artifact, a financial titan, a historical masterpiece, all rolled into one tiny, shimmering copper disc. Final thoughts. Could you be holding history? The story of the 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin teaches us something profound. It reminds us that history is all around us, sometimes in the most ordinary, everyday objects. It teaches us that value isn't always about appearance. It's about rarity, significance, and the stories objects carry within them. Right now, somewhere out there, another 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin could be waiting to be discovered. It could be in your wallet, your car's coin tray, or a forgotten jar at your grandmother's house. So next time you come across a penny, do not dismiss it. Look closer. Examine it carefully. You just might be holding a piece of American history and a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 2015 Liberty 1-cent, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin histories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep searching, keep believing, and remember, sometimes the smallest treasures hold the greatest value. See you in the next video.